taking you into the tour of Bhaja Govindam, taking you close to your true being with joyous nature. This installment is from verse 8 to verse 15. Kate kanta kasate putraha samsaro yamativa vichitraha kasyatvam va kutayataha tatvam chintaya tadiha brataha. This must be easy with some glimpse on Sanskrit, but let us go into it. Who is the wife? Who is the son? Who is the daughter? Who you are and where did you come from? Think about this while you are here, O brother. The true nature of you will come into being if you keep pondering on who am I and where did I come from. Ask the question and wait for the answer to come on its own. The only assurance I can give is that it will come to you. You should ask, what is the guarantee here? You are already your true nature. It is the mind which is obfuscating the reality. It can diffuse itself by continuously pondering on any question you like, such as what is soft drink, what is alcohol, what is the reason for tides in ocean, etc. But wait for the answer to arrive on its own. By trying to answer yourself, the mind will attempt to put every answer it can bring from the knowledge it acquired. By continuously pondering further, it takes you to the state of looking at the question. At some point, it tries to give an attempt to understand the questioner. Here, it goes into infinite recursion. Whoever is the questioner, who is looking into the questioner, this recursion leads to a point that the questioner is an object to begin with, not a subject. Eventually, the state of true nature dawns upon the I, which is thinking itself as a separate entity from the entire existence and non-existence, will realize on its own that it is never a separate entity to begin with. It is just like one lateral moment of existence, non-existence without a division. Satsangatve nisangatvam nisangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan mukti. Being in the company of good people helps us to develop the attitude of detachment. Non-attachment frees you from delusion or maya. This should bring tranquility. Eventually, tranquility leads to total liberation. Reading this gives the inclination that we should associate with spiritual seekers. It also gives the impression that spiritual seekers help us to develop the attitude of detachment. So I ask, look at this deeply. Associate yourself with spiritual seekers. Again, underlining spiritual seekers. A seeker is still attached with a goal. How can one attached to a specific goal can free us from attachment? Is it not that spiritual attachment is considered high and hence it is okay to give up other attachments for spiritual attachment? Replacing one attachment with another? The rest is definitely true. If we can develop detachment, we can certainly achieve tranquility and eventually liberation. But how? How to get there? Note that whoever answers how, it is still another method in the realm of knowledge. Knowing that I am talking about yet another method, the closest I suggest is to stay with these questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? How am I in the first moment of my birth? Do I know that I need liberation at that moment? Do I know that I am conscious about myself? Do I know that my mother is going to feed me? Ask these questions and do not search for answers in search engines. वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारः ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः. What is the use of lust when youth has left? There can be definitions or arguments on what can be considered as youth. It does not matter. Whatever be the age you like to pick, right after the youth is left, what use sexual attraction can bring? Similarly, what is the use of a lake when there is no water? Where is the family when the income decreases? If one is liberated, where is the world? I am equating samsara to the world here. Focusing on last line, when one is liberated, realizing in the realm of knowledge that one is not the knowledge, realizing that the source of knowledge is knowingness, realizing that knowingness requires unknowingness as background, then the world falls in the right place on its own. I like to rephrase the line I spoke once again. Realizing that knowingness requires unknowingness as background, then the thought falls in the right place. That is, thought is just a defensive instrument and only capable of division, separating one from rest of the consciousness. मा कुरु धनजन यौवनगर्वं हरति निमिषेत् कालः सर्वं मायामयमिदम् अखिलं हित्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविशाविदित्वा. Do not take vanity in money, people, youthfulness, as it can extinguish in a blink of time. The whole world is filled with Maya, also known as illusion. Give up this world, enter into the realm of Supreme or Brahman. It is quite easy to see this vanity with people who have lots of money. It takes time, but not too far to realize. Some identify with number of people they possess. Some identify with the beauty that comes with youth. In the process of identification, fear broods gradually. Whoever identifies with money is constantly worried about protecting it. Whoever identifies with beauty always worried about the aging process. The one point I like to drive here is that identification is the root of the fear. We forget that all the identifications are only up to some time in the timeline. In a way, this identification is Maya and the world is filled with this Maya. The last line suggests entering into the world of Brahman or Supreme. While one can enter into the world of Supreme or Brahman, do remember that do not make this as yet another identity. The good news, if someone makes this as an identity, it is bound to go away in the very process of concentrating on Brahman. By concentration, the doors to pure awareness can possibly open. Dinayaminyo sayam pratah sisiravasanto punarayatah kalah kridati gacchati ayuhu tadapi na munchati ashavayuhu. Day and night, morning and evening, winter and spring, they come again and again. As time progresses, death reaches. Even then, the desire does not let go of its hold. This is the direct meaning of this sloka. Taking the first line again, day and night support each other. Existence of the night is the source of the day, and vice versa. Similarly, morning and evening, they go hand in hand. And so are the seasons. While these are parables at the highest level, it is the relativity which is getting expressed as part of this sloka. It also conveys the transient nature of days, seasons, time, etc. While we notice that, we forget that existence is also temporary and we cling to desire at all times as if existence is going to be permanent. It may also bring the question, if existence is temporary, why is there a need to know the true nature? Absolutely, there is no need when everything keeps going good. But any state you identify, regardless of what it is going to be temporary. The true nature of a being has its own essence of beauty, and it is worth giving a try. Note that after realizing the true nature, the world does not become extraordinarily beautiful. It just lets you to live with what you are, no attempt to change anything, yet welcoming everything as it comes. Kate kanta dhana gata chinta पातुलकिंता वनास्ति नियंता त्रिजगति सज्जन संगति रेखा भवति भवर्णव तरणे नौका. Do not be engrossed about your beloved wife and wealth. Your creator is definitely not there. In the entire three worlds, it is the association of good people that can bail you out from the cycle of birth and death. Looking at the first two lines, it conveys that your creator is not discovered while being engrossed about wealth and beloved ones. Even as a thought exercise, I suggest working out about the creator. Who is the creator? God? Big Bang Theory? Random reaction of elements leading to the formation of life? As a friendly suggestion, I also ask to think, when did I come to know about the Creator? Is it after knowing myself as this form? Is it after mother and father teaching my name? What would be I before I came to know about this form? Last but not the least, what is required to know anything? The last two parts of the lines suggest to be in association with good people. This helps one to be free from the cycle of birth and death. I am afraid that one will take this as incarnations. Incarnations is a subject of its own. The meaning I inferred, figuring out the Creator or Brahman, frees oneself from the starting point and the end point. As a result, it becomes timeless and immeasurable. Perhaps another way of representing the Supreme Brahman. Jatilo Mundi Lunchita Kesaha Kashayanbara Bahukruta Veshaha Pasyannapi cha Napasyati Mudaha Udaranimittam Bahukruta Veshaha. Not in the hair, shaven head, saffron robes. They are all different appearances. Even though we see, we do not see closely. All these appearances are to fill the stomach. they are also to make a living. I think this sloka conveys the value of knowledge. All the knowledge we acquire is to make a living, and the value of knowledge ends there. However, we make the roles or appearances as part of our identity. This creates a mind-made story. Observe yourself in a meetup, most likely in a forum of people whom we do not know each other. It starts with the name, education, achievements, and what value one can add to the group. I know this is the most revered and valued. Please continue to do so. But observe this. Who are you without the title or role? Who are you without the knowledge? As I ask you to reason about these questions, I also ask you to think about who you are on your first day of this earth. As long as knowledge helps you to live, please use it. But it is important to keep knowledge at the right place. Just use it when needed and observe it most of the time without the need to change the knowledge or the thought. Doing this or attempting to do this will reduce the internal conflict or the mind conversations.